I knew it. Before the words left their mouth, my body already reacted. Before they even blinked wrong, I knew. That's the INFJ paradox. We see the lie, and yet I stayed. Smiled, nodded. Your whole nervous system is screaming, they're lying.
Who's better at spotting lies, women or men?
There's no research that shows one is better than the other.
There was that study they did where they got T-shirts off men after they'd been for a run, and the women went down and smelt them. And then I think they had to guess which one was the most attractive, and they all pointed at the one that had the highest testosterone in it. So there's things that are going on that we can't see and feel.
If you've ever trusted someone and then felt that gut punch that you knew better, this video is for you. Because INFJs aren't just intuitive, we're trained by trauma, silence, patterns. INFJs don't just detect dishonesty, we absorb it, we carry it, sometimes for years. Let's talk about that gift, its cost and curse of knowing the truth before it's spoken. And what happens when you sense the lie but ignore it, or worse, explain it away? Drop me in the comments if you've ever felt someone lying before you had proof. And if you've ever had someone convince you that your gut was just paranoia, you're in the right place.
So a female brain tends to activate a little bit more, and they tend to think about something more than the male brain. A male brain may be a bit more impulsive.
This is part of a whole series on INFJs, intuition, emotional intelligence, and the quiet ways we survive. So if this hits, subscribe. We're just getting started. Chapter 1, the INFJ intuition loop. Here's what most people don't get about INFJs. We don't just think, we scan. We walk into a room and we're reading energy before we're reading faces. Before we even notice the color of the walls, we've already picked up on who's faking the smile and who's holding back tears. That's because of our dominant cognitive function, introverted intuition, or NI. It doesn't operate like a camera. It's more like a radar that picks up disruption before it understands the story. But here's the INFJ loop. Our knee senses a lie, and then our extroverted feeling fee steps in like a PR manager and goes, hold on, maybe they didn't mean it that way. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. It's the emotional court of appeals, and 9 times out of 10, the lie gets a second chance. We'll say stuff like, they're just tired, it's not that deep, I'm probably being too sensitive. Sound familiar? But it's not just being kind, it's survival. INFJs are often trained by trauma to doubt our own perception, especially if you grew up in chaos or with inconsistent caregivers. According to the Journal of Personality Research 2021, intuitive types are more likely to experience confirmation delay. They delay acting on their gut feeling because it feels socially risky. INFJs don't trust their intuition because we're wrong. We don't trust it because we've been trained not to believe ourselves. Chapter 2. Are INFJs human lie detectors? Not exactly. Let's break a myth real quick. INFJs are not psychic. We're not FBI agents in hoodies. Yes, we sense deception, but that doesn't mean we're always right. Intuition is a pattern language. It reads tone, pacing, eye contact, breath, even silence. But trauma can speak the same language. Carl Jung called this the shadow self, the part of us we repress. For INFJs, our shadow often involves being the aggressor, being wrong, being too much. So instead of confronting the lie, we hold it. Inner child visual, shadow metaphor unfolding. We say we're peacemakers, but let's be honest. Sometimes we're just trying not to lose the connection. INFJs don't confront liars because we can't see them. We don't confront liars because we already feel the cost of the confrontation. Chapter 3. How INFJs spot lies, and so can you. Let's talk about what most people miss when it comes to deception. Because yes, INFJs are intuitive, but intuition isn't magic. It's pattern recognition powered by silence.
What's really important is being good at detecting change. So the conversation starts normally, where are you from, what do you do, some basic information I'm getting out of this person. And then we get to the harder questions, and I'm looking for changes to their behavior. Are they answering questions the same way that they were a few minutes ago? Mm-hmm. Are their eyes moving the same way? Are their fingers doing the same thing? Are they breathing at the same speed? So looking for changes is more important than knowing what behaviors to look for. So if I see a big pile of changes, I can be almost certain that this person is being deceptive without even knowing what I'm really seeing. So getting good at changes is the first and most important thing.
So while the average person might just hear what someone says, an INFJ is already picking up what wasn't said and how it didn't land. Here are some of the signs INFJs subconsciously track. And even if you're not an INFJ, once you hear these, you'll start seeing them too. Eye movement shift. You ask a question and their eyes dart up, left, right, away from you, especially during emotional words. This isn't just nerves, it's a split-second attempt to access a different narrative. Their truth isn't flowing, it's being built mid-sentence. Liars rarely keep it simple. They tend to give too much detail, even when no one asked. Why? Because they're filling the space with distraction. They're layering so many breadcrumbs, you forget to follow your gut. That half-second delay. And there's a pause. Not long enough to be suspicious, but just enough for them to manufacture the right answer. That delay, that's where the lie lives. Body disconnection. They're smiling, but their arms are stiff. Their words say, I'm excited, but their posture says, I'd rather be anywhere else. When the upper body and lower body aren't in sync, that's not just awkward energy. It's a nervous system out of alignment with the truth. Energy drop. This is the one INFJs feel first, even before the words begin. The room gets heavy, the tone dips, the vibe shifts. You feel them pull away from emotional congruence, and your gut tightens before you can even explain why. Now here's the part most people miss. None of these alone prove someone's lying.
Understanding context and clusters. So context meaning like, well, this person is crossing their arms. They must be defensive. Well, what if it's 50 degrees outside and they're freezing cold? So there's context that plays in. So then understanding context and then clusters. I'm going to look for not just one behavior. When somebody says, oh, somebody scratched their nose or they touched their face, they're lying, or they looked away for a minute, they're lying. One behavior never indicates deception by itself. It never should. You should always see a cluster of behavior. And sometimes someone's lying and those behaviors aren't there.
But for INFJs, they stack up fast. We don't need 100 red flags. We need 2 inconsistencies and a weird silence, and the whole timeline starts glitching in our heads. It's not paranoia, it's presence. Because INFJs don't just listen to people, we listen around people, the body, the pauses, the avoidance, the energy. And once you start noticing those things, you can't unsee them. These aren't INFJ-only tricks. Anyone can learn them. But INFJs often feel these things in the body first. Time for an interactive break. The INFJ lie test. I'm going to say a few statements. Your job, just notice your body. Don't overthink. Here we go.
I'm fine.
It's not a big deal.
You're overthinking it.
I swear I'd never hurt you.
I didn't say that.
Trust me. I'm just tired.
If any of those statements made your stomach clench, your throat tighten, or your eyes twitch a little, that's not random. Your body's not being dramatic, it's being ancient, and it's probably trying to keep you alive.
Are you good enough to ask questions to raise the stakes? So if I give you a picture of a duck right now and tell you, convince this person over here that you are looking at a picture of a horse, you're not going to show a lot of deception indicators. But if I do the exact same thing, and I say, if you don't do this, I'm going to put a bullet in your head. You're doing the exact same lie, the exact same situation. Now the stakes are higher so that your deception indicators are increased. So like one of the ways that we might increase stakes is something as simple as me saying, Morgan, I like you as a person. And I don't want you to get tripped up. So I want you to think very carefully before you answer this question. You understand? Mm-hmm. So now the stakes go up. So I've just pumped up your body language with just a little paragraph there. And if you're innocent, your brain's not going to get ramped up.
Yeah.
So if a murder took place and you know you're not the killer, you're going to be like, yeah, okay, fine. That question won't cause you any stress.
These aren't INFJ only tricks. Anyone can learn them. But INFJs often feel these things in the body first. The gut tightens, the breath changes. You can't name it, but you feel it. The gut-brain axis is a real thing. According to Harvard Medical School, the vagus nerve allows your stomach to feel emotional data before your conscious brain processes it. I had a friend once. Every time she'd lie, she blinked twice hard, like her eyelids were trying to shut the truth out. The first time I noticed it, I thought it was just stress. The third time, I felt like I was betraying myself by not saying anything. Chapter 4, when we ignore what we know. Here's where it gets real. INFJs don't just spot lies, we carry them. Because if we name the lie, we might lose the person. And for INFJs, connection is currency. So we rationalize, we fix, we pray our silence is enough for them to change. And when they don't, it's not just heartbreak, it's self-betrayal. Emotional blueprint element. Name the emotion. It's not just pain. It's the pain of knowing you knew better, but didn't leave. INFJs will sit in the burning building and say, maybe the fire isn't that bad. Chapter 5, the INFJ shadow and the lie we tell ourselves. Let's flip the mirror. The lie INFJs believe isn't just what they're told, it's the one they tell themselves. The lie is, if I just love harder, they'll stop lying. But love doesn't fix character, and silence doesn't fix betrayal. INFJs, we have to stop being loyal to potential, start being loyal to the patterns. Because here's the truth, some people lie not because they're scared, but because it works. Chapter 6, what to do instead, practical takeaways. So what do we do when we feel a lie coming? Don't confront an emotion, confirm in calm. Ask open-ended questions. Watch the energy, not just the words. And most of all, when the vibe shifts, don't gaslight yourself. Name it, write it down, talk it out, track the pattern. The goal isn't to catch liars. The goal is to stop betraying your own perception. This is why being an INFJ can feel like living in a different dimension. You feel things before they're said, and sometimes long after they're gone. But here's the gift. You're not crazy. You're not paranoid. You're just built for depth. Next episode, we're breaking down INFJs and ghosting, why it cuts so deep, what it reveals, and how to protect your energy without building walls. Tell me about a time you felt the lie, but stayed silent. What did your intuition tell you, and what did it cost you?
One of the best questions in the world is called a bait question. And this is where, let's say a crime happened, let's say some $10,000 was stolen from a grocery store or something. I've got you in here as a suspect. Let's say you did it. And I might say, Maureen, is there any reason that somebody would have say that they saw your car parked outside that store that evening? Then you don't know how many people I've talked to. And the only time that you will get nervous is if you were there.
True.
And you know that if you're going to commit to lying and I'm about to slam you in the face with evidence, you don't know if I'm about to do that. That's why the bait question is so important. It works with kids. The best one for kids is called the punishment question. And this is, what do you think should happen to the person that did this?